Dear students, today we shall discuss the subject international business. So this is being opted for 4 semester students at the VTU, and many autonomous colleges, they are opting this subject in the 4th semester. Now let us try to understand the subject with its introductory concepts and the basic concepts, which include the business environment, its introduction, then concepts, significance, and the nature of business environment, elements of environment. The elements include internal and external elements, then various techniques that we adopt to scan the environment, then economic environment, that is for which is used for business, and various types of environment that we'll be discussing, and its significance. Now let us try to understand the first concept, that is the elements of international business. Here in this subject, we'll be mainly addressing about the two concepts. That is, one is international and business. That is how business we can do in international countries. So mainly that includes means how we can see or how we can call some business as international business is because of the elements like exporting goods and services, then giving license to produce goods in the other countries, then starting a joint venture with a company, then opening a branch for producing and distributing goods in the host country. So again, we have other options also like licensing, then turnkey projects, then franchise, all this. So through these means or approaches, we can have a business in international countries. So basically, that has been started. It has some introduction, that is history. So what is that is, here we can see the commencement of that international business concept in the year 1870. Later on, it has been widely spread during World War II. So that happened in 1919, and end of the first phase of globalization and industrial revolution in UK, Germany, and in USA. Slowly it has been expanded to India also during World War II. And in 1913, that is during World War time, the GDP has been recorded with a 22.1. Then after 1913, increased trade barriers to protect domestic production. So means different the various constraints and different barriers have been imposed in order to control international expansion of business. So why means in order to protect domestic production and the usage of the commodities or goods or services in the home country itself. And in 1930s, declined trade ratios. That is, again, such barriers have been liberalized or opened, and the free trade has been introduced. So that we call as international business. So true global companies view the entire world as a single market. Why? Because the term international that itself says means anyone is open or they have an option to have their business anywhere in the world. Means entire world we see as a single market, and manufacturer wherever in the world is most cost effective. Means usually why we see the world as a single market is because wherever we have the access for resources, like say for example, in some part of the country or the world, we may be having cheap labor, or resources may be very cheap, or based on availability of resources, or maybe the requirement, that is demand. So looking into all such concepts, we see the world as a single market, and even that has a provision to sell in those markets where the prices are highest, because you can produce the produce wherever the sources are cheap, and you can sell the same wherever there is high demand or wherever you get more price for the same. And raise of finance, you can fund or raise the finance globally and forge international strategy alliance, and to manage all these, take the best talent from all over the world. Means you can access, you can hire the people across from various parts of the globe. So these are the different provisions what we have in such businesses. That is when we opt to do business internationally. So because of that, today we can see widespread of the international business everywhere. So that is why today we can see even the MNCs, they have their role or they have their existence in every part of the world. So this is a small introduction to the international business. Now let us try to understand the meaning of international business. International business refers to the exchange of goods and services between two parties of different countries. When an exchange of goods and services happens between two countries, then only that can be called as a such type of business can be called as international business. And international business may be understood as those business transactions involve crossing of national boundaries. Again, because we have a concept called MNCs, MNEs. So usually like transnational, the countries like that, because it has the different meaning. So if we have any the business across maybe borders or between two countries, it can be called as international business. And it is the process of focusing on the resources of the globe and objectives of the organization and the global business opportunities and threats in order to produce or buy or sell or exchange of goods and services worldwide. Means we can do either we can produce or we can buy or we can sell or exchange the goods and services that usually we call as exports and imports. So this is the basic meaning of the term international business. Now let us try to understand the features of international business. The features includes the first one, large scale operations, then integration of economies, then dominated by developed countries and MNCs. Usually, the presence of such business is being controlled and monitored by MNCs, multinational companies, because they wanted to have their existence present in different multiple countries. So that is why they are meant for that. And with benefits to practicing countries and keen competition, we can see then special role of science and technology, because we usually when we try to expand our business in various countries, we have to adopt various types of techniques and technologies. So accordingly we have to manage our business. So we can see a special role of science and technology, because to make the business reach in different parts of the world, so this is very much required. And international restrictions, then sensitive nature, because say for example we take, so today there is a war happening between Iran, Israel and USA. Because of that we could see, because most of the countries they depend on such countries for oil. So we are including the Asian countries and other parts of the country. They are exporting the oil from these nations. So because today, because of the war, we could see the scarcity of such maybe different commodities, goods, or any services. So that again creates a lot of the fluctuations or lot of the variations in the business. So that may lead to hamper the regular businesses. So that is why, so that we call as sensitive nature. So because again it is very much unexpected or it is uncertain nature, and international business need accurate information to make appropriate decisions. So because there should be a clear decisions between maybe two countries with respect to usage of resources or with respect to use of the commodities. Say for example, again you take the rare earth materials, usually so like maybe gold or diamond, or maybe the other minerals that usually we use in different parts of the machines. So that we depend on the other countries where they are available in plenty. So in that case, we need to have a transaction or tie between two countries for export or import businesses. So that has to happen on regular basis. So here we need to have a business, so that is been meant between two countries or among the countries. So through international mode. So international business house need not only accurate but also timely information is very much required. So these are the few features that usually we see in such businesses. Usually when we do some businesses internationally, so these are the features that we can see. Now coming to the importance of international business. The importance lies with usually when we say the business between few different countries, then definitely it is to earn foreign exchange and to optimize the utilization of resources. Again, optimum utilization of resources, as I said, maybe different parts of the world may be rich in different types of resources that can be optimally used by everyone or anyone. So because now the business has been made, the trade has been made easy for everyone and to achieve its objectives. The objective of any business is to make profit or to again increase the sales. So in order to meet its objective, it is very much important, and to spread business risk and improve organization's efficiency and get benefits from government. And again, to do all this, the support from the government is very much required, and to expand and diversify. Slowly we can expand our business to different parts of the world. Suppose if we are operating with one or two countries, that can be expanded to few more countries. So like that, we can diversify by using all possible resources and increase competition among the businesses. So these are the importance of international business, so that everyone have an opportunity to spread their business uh, anywhere in the part of the world. Now we shall see, so what are the important reasons for the emergence of international business. So till now, what we discussed about the introduction and its evolution, how it has got evoluted, and the features of that, meaning of that, then importance. Now let us try to understand the reasons for the emergence of international business. The reasons include to achieve higher rate of profits and expanding the production capacity and severe competition in home country, then limited home market, then political stability versus political instability, availability of technology and managerial competency, then high cost of transportation, nearness to raw materials, then availability of quality HR at less cost, liberalization and globalization, and to increase market share and to achieve a higher rate of profit. So these are the reasons. Means when we are understanding the importance there itself, that clearly says why today the international business is very much required, because already we said that we are seeing the world as a single market. So, because in order to reach the business everywhere, so this is very much important. Now, let us try to understand the terminology, that is global business environment. So, in order to take up such international business, we need to have an environment which is more congenial, which is more favorable to do such businesses. So that we call as global business environment. Such environment definitely support the such businesses, and the environmental analysis is very much required, so that before we take up the international business, we can analyze with respect to various feasibility with respect to macro environment and micro environment. Then we can decide where exactly we have to start our business and what type of resources we have to use. Now coming to the global business environment, here actually we will be analyzing the environment. So that is called as, it is the process by which strategies monitor the economic, governmental, legal, market or competitive, supplier or technological, geographic and social settings to determine opportunities and threats to their firms. So first we have to analyze the environment for the suitability, then we have to take a call. So that includes, again, many times we'll be discussing about different types of macro environments. So that is technological, economical, then geographical, legal, societal, all that. So that we will be again analyzing. So how congenial such environment to my business. Say for example, maybe export of some seasonal fruits or some agricultural commodities, anything. So first I have to analyze in order to produce, to sell and to supply that. That we call as environmental diagnosis. So this consists of managerial decisions made by analyzing the significance of data. So that is called as opportunities and threats of the environmental analysis. At the same time, we'll be analyzing for the opportunities and threats what we have for the business. So looking at that, we'll be uh, doing the business, or we'll be expanding the business. Now let us try to understand what are such global business environment. That includes microenvironment and macroenvironment. The microenvironment is, again, we know that the suppliers or the employees, workers, laborers, competitors, customers, and the general public, usually we call as stakeholders, they form the microenvironment. And the macroenvironment includes, again, we have discussed that the economic environment, natural environment, then demographic, physical, technological, political, social, cultural environment, all these comprises of macro environment. So these two we call as business environment. Before we take up any business, international business, we start with the first step, that is environmental scanning. So we are going to scan the environment. So what are such environment? They include micro and macro. What are such micro and macro environment? Now we have discussed. So with this, we have understood the introduction to international business.